Peace, peace, family. This video right here is a breakdown on the movie Get Out that was just released now. Primarily, I'm making this video due to the large amount of requests I'm getting from the family in order to, drop the science and the hidden analogies that are contained within this movie. Now, before I start, I want to say this. In 1798, there was a law passed called the Alien and Sedition Acts. Now, I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. This law, long story short, out of the many of the fictitious statutes it contained, one of the statutes was publishers and editors could be charged with treason, alright, and punished severely with the penalty of death by hanging if they released any information publicly that was not first approved by the government. So when you're dealing with shit like classified files or shit that's not disclosed to the public, that is because it is partially being subjugated under the scrutiny of the Alien and Sedition Acts law that was passed in 1798. So the government must first approve of what you get to know. Just like the FDA can approve of what's good and bad for you to eat and digest, the government can approve of what information they want you to know or not. So with that being said, when you watch movies indirectly tell you the truth because they can't directly tell you the truth because they can be charged with motherfucking treason and murdered because they've told the truth from the government. Hence, this is where you get murdered whistleblowers from, aka people like Eric Snowden. So with that being said, I mean, he's not murdered, but he's considered a whistleblower. But you get people who you see almost being charged with treason for telling something the government has not approved to become public information. So with that being said, let's go into the movie. Now, if you didn't see the movie yet, don't watch this video, period, because I'm going to ruin it for you. Now, with that being said, the movie has so many different hidden messages in them. I'm just going to tap around. I'm not even going to go in the order sequence in which the movie went. I'm just going to hit key scenes and break them down. Now, for example, a prime message that was meant to be got across to our people was the blatant ignorance we have due to our love for the motherfucking oppressor. Now, with that being said, from day one, right? From day one, this European Caucasian woman did not have that black man's best interest at hand. She was plotting on him from day one. But with that being said, he ignored all of the telltale signs. Flat out. Every time some shit looked funky and suspicious, she get this smiling kiki. Oh my God, this, that, and the third. And next thing you know, oh, it's alright, forget about it. Every time he's feeling some type of way, he's not fully expressing himself. He's not fully expressing his concern because he's failed for the hypnotic false illusion of being loved and accepted by someone who will never and has never loved and accepted him for who he is from day one. So that being said, I want to start that off by saying that our blind, and he ended up in a fucked up situation out of his willful blindfulness. So out of his willful blindness, he was willfully blind and ignorant to what was going on to him and put himself in a much worse off situation that he had to fight to get out of, opposed to if he would have just listened to himself from the jump and left it the fuck alone. So that being said, this is symbolic to us as a people. Martin Luther King, all of these integrational cool motherfuckers have willfully put us in a burning house out of their subconscious want to be accepted by a motherfucker who will never accept you and is only preying on you and has been preying on you from day one. And with that being said, so even when you're dealing with Kanye West, right? And I'm gonna use Kanye West as an analogy because we all see what's going on with him and everybody making memes and talking shit about this man, but nobody but we being purposely and willfully blind again to what's going on with the man. So with that being said, in the movie, right, when the black dude, I think his name was Sean, I ain't for sure, but anyway, in the movie, when the black dude who's the lead character in the movie, he unhypnotizes one of the other black people. And you know what they do? They put him in the chair and they tell him sink. They sink his ass. We're going to say sink him into the chair, right? They sink his ass into the chair and the hypnotizing lady bring him right back out, hypnotized, straight back in a unconscious state like he was, right? Every time a black person wake up, every time Kanye West been waking up after he done already sold his soul and engaged in these motherfucking Masonic practices, and he done got himself way in over his head. He done got with him a white woman. He's been more fucked up than he's ever been. Plus, he done sold his soul, so, you know, he going through what he going through. But with that being said, now they got this nigga Kanye West talking about something. He's crazy. He can't be released till the doctors say he can be released. This same motherfucker in the movie was a doctor. So, what you saying? The nigga in the movie was a doctor, and he was the worst motherfucker in the whole goddamn movie. So, we're so trustful of prestigious names. Everybody in that goddamn Get Out movie was police, doctors, musicians, famous, great, upstanding, people of criteria in America. Those was the wickedest motherfuckers in the movie. Now you got all of these wicked motherfuckers around Kanye West. Keep re-hypnotizing this motherfucker. Every time he break his MK Ultra, enslaved mental mind control, they go sink the nigga back in the chair. And you dumb motherfuckers is too busy making memes instead of taking it for what it is. And seeing that the people of this country want you to think and live a certain way. And if you don't, they gonna force your motherfucking ass. And if it comes to the point to where everybody start going against the grain, martial law is the last step. I seen some dumbass shit the other day, to get off on a tangent. Somebody talking about some sign the petition to impeach Donald Trump. Now, last year, before Donald Trump even came, and I did a video called Election Ritual, right? No, I did a video called Election and Martial Law. Last year, where I said there can be no martial law unless a president runs for 3 terms. So you dumb motherfuckers is playing right into these motherfucking elitists' hands. They gave you an asshole that nobody likes. He made all these promises to these racist white motherfuckers. He not keeping his promises he made to them. So now they don't like him. So now black people don't like him. Neutral white people don't like him. And racist ass white people don't like him. Now y'all want to impeach this man. Why? So that you can get him out, and then Obama could come back in for the 3rd term, and your dumb ass could wind up in a FEMA camp. So, motherfucker, the movie Get Out is deeper than what you think. And y'all motherfuckers is playing right into the hands of these elitists. And even motherfucking Kanye West. So Kanye West went from saying Bush don't like black people to motherfucking taking photos with Donald Trump, who already is publicly known to not like black people. Nobody in their right mind would do that. Y'all even just watching my YouTube channel have somewhat of an understanding of my personality. So if you see me acting out of my motherfucking character, you wouldn't think that something was wrong with me? Would you make memes about me and be like, oh, this nigga Pharaoh is blah, 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 blah? Or would somebody come try to motherfucking rescue me and make sure I'm good and see what the fuck is going on? So we so fearful of what the fuck we know is going on that we would rather ignore it and be willfully blindfold and focus on petty shit. And that's what the nigga was doing in the movie, and that's why he ended up in a fucked up situation. And at the end of the day, guess who saved him? It was his conscious black friend who was woke the entire motherfucking time. So if it wasn't for us that's woke, you blind motherfuckers are being for some shit. So the movie Get Out is detrimental, family, and it needs, I suggest that everybody go see it and watch it for what it's worth in regards to the allegorical and symbolic hidden messages that's contained within the movie. Now with that being said, let's get into the sciences of the movie. If you notice, right, everybody in the movie was Masons. All when he went to that woman's house and they act like, oh, I didn't know my father was doing this get together. She knew that they was doing that they was finna try to auction my man off for his consciousness. Now with that being said, when he went to that house, everybody had on black and white. And all of the top high-ranking Masons at the house had on black, white, and red, right? Because 33rd degree Masons, or the head of the lodges, wear the red. So with that being said, if you notice, all of the white Europeans in that video, whether they were actually, famous people or not, were portraying famous people of stature. I mean, in that movie, were portraying famous people with some sort of status, all right? You had actors, artists, whatchamacallit, the wife was a therapist, the father was a neurosurgeon, all right? And then you had all these other famous European people who were whatchamacallit, a part of the Masonic Brotherhood, and those were the people keeping the black people in the dark mentally and auctioning them off. So before I even go into the science, I want to just give you the blueprint. The video is about, the movie, the whole goddamn movie was about how upper echelon Europeans are controlling the mind of African people and pushing us like pawns into fulfilling roles in their life that they want filled with total blatant disregard and ignorance to the losses and the suffering that we must face and go through just so they can carry out their wicked ass agenda. That was the whole goddamn point of the movie. So going into individual sciences, you see everybody got on black and white. Black and white means as above, so below. That's why when you look at Baphomet, one hand is pointing up and one hand is pointing down. That means as above, so below in regards to the occult and Masonic fraternities. So that being said, all the white people in the movie was Masons, in case you missed it. And they was all in on deploy the whole time while playing ignorant. And this is symbolic to what we go through every day in America. Motherfucker kill you, you on CNN, police then killed you. The whole goddamn white America plays ignorant. Not all of us are like that. We don't know what's going on. When all of them are conscious in one way of another to the oppressive machine known as this goddamn corporate America and what it's doing to African people, whether it be mass incarceration, poisoning us through the food or the water, organ harvesting, our women and our children coming up missing, all kind of shit. They killing our leaders. All Europeans are privy to this understanding, but play ignorant because it's actually beneficial to them in one way or another, whether they are directly or indirectly engaged in an oppression. Now let's continue on. Now, when you're dealing with the black man and the other black people that was in the rest of the video, right? I mean, in the rest of the movie, all of them were brainwashed. But if you notice key things, like when they were in a party, when they were at the little get-together gathering party, and he was trying to interact with them and shake their hands and things like that, they were unconscious. They weren't updated on, let's say, the culture. Even though that's not, hip-hop and all that, that's not really our culture. But let's just say they weren't updated on what it is to be an urban Negro, an urban black man. So he couldn't even identify with his brothers and sisters because they were inhabiting the consciousness of the oppressor, which I'll break down the science of how, the Caucasian in that movie literally was transferring their consciousness into the black people through hypnosis. But that's coming later. But just keeping it on the foundation for now, he couldn't even have an interaction with his own people because they was so in tune with the Europeans' culture that they were literally disconnected from their own self. And this is symbolic to what we're going through right now in America. You got motherfucking Jesse Jackson, then you have me. You have somebody who has become so internally, let's say, circumnavigational of the oppression of the oppressor's frequency, the oppressor's mentality, the oppressor's spirituality, that we could never have a proper African interaction because we're not even both Africans internally anymore. So our people have been divided, and through the division we have been conquered. As you can see, even in the movie, right? Everybody in the movie was looking at the unhypnotized black man, right? Like he was, like something was wrong with him, and really something was wrong with them all along. So they got him feeling like he's crazy or he's out of place, when really all of them are just setting up the environment to push him right into the means in which they have been plotting on using him from day one. Now let's get into the sciences now. We done laid the foundation. So the foundation of the movie was based off how the elite Masonic Europeans are mentally manipulating black people and pushing us like pawns into their agenda, whether it be organ harvesting, using us for some way, shape, form, or fashion that's gonna serve their purpose. Because even in the movie, you see they said the pendulum has swung and is back in the favor of black people. And he said we're genetically and physically and mentally superior, and if only we would use our abilities that we have, we would be a beast. And the black man in the video was so non in tune with himself, he had no will to become a king. He was just busy trying to conform to European society. Meanwhile, European society seen the greatness in him that he didn't see in himself, and they valued him. They value his inner being so much more than him that they was willing to hypnotize that nigga and literally steal his own consciousness from his ass. And all he was trying to do was fall in love with the white woman and show white America that he can be one of them. Meanwhile, white America was trying to be his motherfucking ass. So with that being said, let's get into the science now. Now, what they was doing was, they was neurologically, they was doing brain transplants and neurologically transferring memories from one human to the other, well, one Neanderthal to the human. Because remember, Europeans are not 100% human beings. They're Neanderthal. Only Africans are 100% human beings. So the Neanderthals was transplanting their brains to in certain, hemispheres of their brains into the African organisms, whether it be male or female, and neurologically transferring their memories to them as well as their consciousness. So what they was doing was they was hypnotizing people, right? And they was making you take a back seat to your own self. Meanwhile, they override you. Now, this is what I just broke down in my video I did on Hollywood, where I said during the Freemason initiation process, where they make you sell your soul when you sign these record deals, aka entering into a card game, when they rape you anally, an electrical current goes the opposite way up your spine other than what it's originally supposed to travel, and it crashes into your brain. And when it crashes into your brain, it actually splits your psychological paradigm into two. So the person who you are now becomes double slotted. And this other slot is void of an identity, but it's fruitful for a mentality to be installed. And then once they conjure up an entity into you, this entity takes on that other half of your psychology, and it's called an alter ego. So with that being said, like I said before, this is why you see Nicki Minaj with Roman, Martha, all of these different alter egos. Every time you see one of these rappers and one of these Hollywood stars go through the process, they become 4 or 5 different motherfuckers. So this is the same thing they was doing in the movie, except they was doing it biologically with themselves instead of conjuring up a being. They was putting you back basically in your subconscious. They was taking you out of your conscious, putting you back in your subconscious, and then they was biologically and neurologically, literally transfusing themselves into where you used to have the conscious seat. And they had black people taking a back seat to their own selves while they were living out and enjoying the physical vessel of the black person. The black person was only allowed to be visually and present on an audio level, but they couldn't physically control themselves. So they was able to have the experiences, but they weren't able to physically control what experiences they wanted to have. Meanwhile, the Europeans had fully taken over the vessel, and they was controlling all of the experiences and doing everything. So this goes to show you how, we're being manipulated into building a better world for the oppressor, as I've already stated in another video I did called Global Frequency Manipulation. So with that being said, we do this every day. Now, they did another movie I'm going to mention called Split, where the dude had DID, Dissociative Identity Disorder. This is a real actual disorder. I done said this 1,000 times over the last year. Now, with that being said, this takes place also in the movie Get Out. Even in your real life right now, everybody has DID. For example, when you go in the streets, right? Your mother named you Johnny. Let's say Johnny's a European name, whatever. We're not arguing that right now. Let's say your mother named you Johnny. When you go in the street, your name is Murder, right? So when you get to gangbanging and you get to doing all of the foolishness you want to do, Johnny is not killing people. Your niggas don't call you Johnny. Your niggas call you Murder. The psychological, aka alter ego that you have now took on is the one that's doing the negative actions. When you go to the family reunion or the barbecue, grandma don't call you Murder. Grandma call you Johnny. You don't even cuss in front of grandma. You become Johnny again in front of grandma. You become a whole nother motherfucker. But when you get from around your family, you become Murder again. So this goes to show you that by us living in the matrix and trying to survive, we being pushed like pawns, and we being subjected to MK Ultra on a small level of victimization to where we are we self-hypnotizing our motherfucking selves into taking on alter egos, which is leading us down a path that will further the agenda of the Caucasian. For example, if you never took on a psychological state of being a hood nigga, then you would never fall for the trick of the government putting guns and drugs in the community for you to become subjected to that and actually play that out and uplift the government that's actually holding itself up off oppressing you, due to tricking you into using your free will to oppress your own self. So now, when we talk about consciousness and subconsciousness, the whole movie Get Out was showing you that we are taking back seats to what we know is right in our own consciousness, and we allowing the will of the European to set a seat in our present consciousness and guide us into what he wants us to be in his world. So for example, another example, a stripper, right? Your mother named you Sarah. When you come out on the stage, it's Cinnamon. When you in front of your mother and your grandma, they don't call you Cinnamon, they call you Sarah. You don't strip in front of your parents. That's a whole nother being. You turn into a whole nother entity when you go to do something that you wouldn't naturally do. The ego does what the spirit is not allowed to do. The spirit does not get mad over motherfucking sneakers. The spirit don't care about sneakers, but niggas' egos do. So what they do is they put you in situations that you have to create an alter ego in order to experience, because naturally you wouldn't even want to have that motherfucking experience. Nobody's soul has reincarnated to sell drugs and strip and prostitute. But your ego wants to do that. The alternate personality within you, that spirit that's spiritually feasting off you, wants to do that. So now we have to disassociate ourselves from our original identity. So everybody on this motherfucker that grew up in the hood is miniature splits. All you motherfuckers have at least 2 or 3 identities that you go through. You got somebody that you become when you at work. You don't answer that phone like, motherfucker, what's up? You, hi, such and such, thank you for calling. This is a bill collector, whatever job you have. Hi, welcome to McDonald's, hi, whatever. Hi, I'm a lawyer. Whatever job, occupation you have, you turn into the alternate ego which best suits that occupation. If you in the streets, you turn into the alternate ego which best suits that occupation. When you in front of your girl, when you in front of your friends, you turn into different people. You don't talk to your friend the way you talk to your girl. So this goes to show you, everybody in America right now has motherfucking DID, period. And bringing that back to Get Out. Get Out is showing you why. Because elite Europeans who are controlling the motherfucking world is pushing you like pawns into furthering their agenda. Even in the movie, they didn't see the flesh. I mean the mind. They only seen the flesh. Same thing with America. They don't promote. Why the fuck is I'm not rich and on TV? Because I'm intelligent and I'm for African people. Now if I was a dumbass nigga and a rapper and I was talking about stupid shit all day, motherfucker, I would be a millionaire. Because they promote the flesh. Basketball players, they're not intelligent. They tell you go look up them motherfuckers who they scout out and sign. These niggas don't have educations. They scouting NFL players and basketball players before they even finish college because they not worried about you integrating into corporate America and taking it over. They just want you to play for that team. They gonna own you. They gonna give you that salary. They gonna make quadruple times off you. Then they gonna send your ass back with all kind of injuries. You won't even be able to physically move and live the rest of your life. Then you gonna fuck around and be like Muhammad Ali somewhere. No disrespect to Muhammad Ali. So with that being said, they don't value the African mind. They only value the African vessel because they know ours is superior. But they would never allow our mind to exist within their world because then their world wouldn't exist. So with that being said, the whole point of the movie Get Out was not about getting out of the house. It was about getting out of the Europeans' mental construct and state of hypnosis that he has everybody in. You motherfuckers think y'all not motherfucking hypnotized by white America? How many of you niggas celebrated either Christmas, Easter, Valentine's Day, Thanksgiving, etc., Halloween, etc., at least one of those this past year? Nigga, you barbecue on Memorial Day. Nigga, Memorial Day is not about you, you stupid motherfucker. Memorial Day is about corporate America. So you are hypnotized into feeling obliged and to being a part of the culture of your motherfucking enemy. That's like a rat crawling on his belly, hissing like a snake. Yeah, the snake's gonna laugh and giggle and bring them in. But as soon as one of them get hungry, they're gonna eat the fucking rat. Same thing with the African. We will never have a place within the European or Caucasian's construct because it's not ours. It's just that motherfucking simple. Period. Nigga. Period. You would never have a day, you would never have a place on motherfucking Cinco de Mayo or when one of them Spanish holidays, nigga, because you a nigga. You shouldn't want a place. Let the Spanish and Latino people have their shit. The problem is, we so busy trying to fit into everybody else's consciousness that we are negating our own, which is the most powerful. So when we dealing with the movie Get Out, we are taking back seats to our own free will and conscious and expression of our consciousness to exercise the perspective of other people. So the whole point of the movie was get out and get from under the hypnotic state that the motherfucking elitists and Freemasons have your black ass under, nigga. And stop being willfully ignorant, trying to prove yourself to a motherfucker who don't give a fuck about you. And stop trying to show love to somebody who's been plotting on you from day one and has constantly showed you and reminded you of that. So with that being said, now, his friend, who I would have been the friend, his friend in the movie blatantly told the nigga from the beginning, nigga, I think they doing A, B, C, D, E, F, G in the house. And don't go in the house. This stupid mother, exactly what his friend said was exactly what was happening. And this nigga ignored it for the motherfucking white girl. So that being said, now the white girl got him in a whole lot of shit. And then, at the end, it was so deep. Because when he tried to, y'all didn't know this, y'all probably didn't peep this. When he woke his man up, right? You see the white man, I mean his black friend killed the white girl. That was symbolic to African people turning, once we get woke up and getting free, we're going to turn on the oppressor. But outside of that, this was the deep part in the movie. He was choking the goddamn girl, right? And she got to saying, I love you, I love you, I love you, it's me, it's me. And he let her go. But if you notice, he didn't want to let her go. She was hypnotizing him the whole time with saying that she loved him and other things I'm getting ready to break down after this, to where his mind made him feel compassion. This goes to this is symbolic to motherfucking everything we've been going through over 500 years. Motherfucking white boy run up in the church, kill 9 motherfuckers. White people say, I'm sorry, we love y'all. We gonna give y'all some motherfucking compensation money. And the motherfucking coon went from being hurt and enraged that their family is dead to now they don't see it and talking about, I forgive you. I forgive you. Motherfuckers kill Sandra Bland, murder her dead on TV. We go from being raged to outrage to the mom being with fucking Hillary Clinton and taking some lawsuit money. Now she cool. The white woman's false. The white woman only began to say she loved him, not because she did, but because she knew if she could convince him that she was other than what she blatantly showed him she was, which was a motherfucking a devil with demonic intent in this particular case, that he would fall for it. And he did. So after all she put this nigga through, he caught her trying to get him killed. He caught her trying to get him hypnotized. She was setting him up from day fucking one. The nigga still didn't have the balls to kill her. Why? Because he was hypnotized by wanting to be loved and accepted by his oppressor. Even after all she put this motherfucker through and damn near just got him killed. And before that scene even happened, if you notice, when he was in his chair getting hypnotized, breaking out, she was online scouting top playing motherfucking NCAA basketball players and football players. So this goes to show you white women is only going, the white America, right, is only going after the best of the best of our African people to turn them into what they want them to be. And if they can't, they try to kill the motherfucker. So with that being said, the movie was deeper than the motherfucker. And I'm trying to keep it subjective because some of y'all gonna watch this video, you still ain't watched the movie, so I ain't gonna ruin the whole movie for you. But with that being said, the movie is very deep. And if you notice, right, in the movie, they was dropping gems like how you hypnotize people by giving them something to focus on. If somebody gives their focus to something, they give their consciousness to something. And when you can bring somebody's focus, you can bring somebody, when you get somebody to focus on something, you bring their consciousness to the forefront. And that is the point. And it's at that point that you can hypnotize somebody. So now let me give you an example. What do you niggas focus on all day? Hip hop, basketball, NBA, football, NFL, clubs, dumb shit, drugs, money, clothes, cars, girls. And all you niggas have become subjugated to the hypnotization of everything I just named. And all you niggas live all of your lives to try to gain a status in the place of everything I just named. Meanwhile, ignoring your internal consciousness. You have taken a back seat to your own righteous natural will and have allowed everything I just named, aka European agendas, to take a front seat or to the forefront of your consciousness, and you have created an alter ego which will guide you and navigate you through the mazes of the illusions, aka everything I just named that you're chasing, which ignorantly to you, you are furthering the motherfucking agenda of the Masonic elitists who have founded this goddamn country. Because all of the founding fathers were Masons, all of these politicians are Masons, everybody who run this motherfucking country is a Mason. All of the goddamn world bankers are Masons. And you are playing right into their motherfucking agenda with your silly, egotistical dumbass. So with that being said, nigga, you need to get the fuck out. Get your dumbass out. Not out of an external environment, but of the internal environment that you are trapped in within your own motherfucking self. And with that being said, family, I love y'all. Peace.